Good afternoon. Many of you know me as the kind of person who likes to just have fun and enjoy myself and very laid back. Throughout my high school career, I've been the guy who puts in my 2 cents here and there just when I want to. I just really try to enjoy myself. Some of you lately know me as Dumb and Dumber from prom. I realized that a lot of people thought it was fun and everything, but I definitely here to reassure you, I'm not the dumber of the two. But let me just show you another side of it. When I was about 2 years old, my birth father left our house. I was too young to realize what really happened, and yet I was still able to feel the loss of emotional attachment. I was without a father until I was about 5, when my mother remarried Eric, who is now my father. During this time, I was given the gift of a friendship. I was introduced to my best friend, Sean Hamilton. We now know each other since we could talk, and have always had a good time. I thank God every day for this great friendship. Sean helped me so much through many of my struggles since then. When I was 8 years old, I dedicated my life to Christ in my bedroom with my mom. I asked God into my heart and realized that my life was changed forever. I now know and feel more alive and more capable and much more able to do everything with God by my side. When I turned 11, Eric adopted me and my last name was changed to Sale. This is probably the best day of my life. I consider it the beginning of the real me. By age 16, I had been a pallbearer 4 times, all of which were my great-grandparents. This experience was one that I will never forget. It was one of the hardest experiences, especially since I was so young. You never really notice how much someone means to you until you lose them. Through all of this, I could feel the presence of God just lifting me up and giving me strength to carry on. He seems to always be there when I need him. I really struggled with the death of my loved ones, but I was able to transfer the mourning into a celebration. Until about 2 years ago when my grandma Charlotte passed away. She was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, which was quite tough on her since she already had diabetes. She kept our family alive during the years me and my sister were without a father. It was hard to describe how much she really means to me. Anybody who has ever known her or met her would know that she's the type of lady that just likes to push you out of your comfort zone. I remember clear as day when I was about 15 years old, I was sitting at my grandma's table with her. She leaned over to me and looked at me right in the eye and said, "Alex, I'm getting old and I'm going to die sometime." I remember when I was a little girl, my great-grandma, Wright, looked at me and said, "Charlotte, when I die, you can't cry at my funeral. It was the happiest day of my life." Alex, I'm telling you, you can't cry at my funeral. It's the happiest day of my life, too. I also remember one time when me and Sean went to Illinois. We were baling hay and had one too many vehicles at the field. At this time, Sean and I were both 14, but my grandma didn't seem to care. She made him jump in the truck and drive it home. It didn't matter what you thought about the situation that you were put in, you were going to succeed. She just made sure of it. During this time, my grandmother passed away and really struggled. I prayed that God wouldn't take her yet, which was very selfish of me. She was just 65 and the liveliest person I knew. I just wasn't ready to lose her. It was such an emotional battle. Her words, "Don't cry at my funeral," stuck with me and are always in the back of my mind when I talk about her. I remember walking up to her casket and feeling like she was going to look at me and just be like, "Alex, don't cry." She was just that type of person. The day was the hardest day of my entire life, but through that, God gave me the strength to be a better person and know that she was in a better place. Through all of these hardships, God walked beside me to bring me here where I am today. I now walk through life knowing that He is there and He will never leave me. His presence by my side through all that I do. I know that there is nothing that can stop me from praising His name. We all know that life is full of candy canes and gumdrops, but I know that God will be there by my side. While college life is closing in, we must remember that God is there and He loves us and He wants to be by us.